Okay, welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be talking about how everything is energy. Now, I know I mentioned this very briefly the other day on my other video, but I wanted to expand on it a little bit more because I think it's actually a really important fact. And it's very useful to know. Now, it's actually something that I realized a few years ago. As crazy as it sounds, but it was just after I had a panic attack. I was having a panic attack and I was at work, and at the time I worked at a warehouse, and instead of feeding into these fears and escalating the panic attack to a point where I had to go home, I diffused it by completely redirecting my energy towards the task that I was doing, which at the time was making generators and using big machinery and stuff like that. And I noticed that as soon as I did that the thoughts and all the feelings that I was feeling because of the anxiety and the panic attack completely subsided. And the only thing that I could really focus on was the work that I was doing. And I think this is very powerful to know that, because in an essence, and as it is, everything is just energy. You know, you can be sad, be happy, be angry, any of those emotions, and you can change it around by your mindset, right? But everything is energy. And when you realize that everything is energy and that you can turn your happiness into sadness, or sadness into happiness, and angriness into happy, whatever you want to, change it to or transmute it to, I think it's a very, very powerful place to be in. So I urge you guys, next time you have anxiety or next time you feel an emotion that you're quite uncomfortable with, firstly, obviously, you accept it. It's the first thing you have to do. You have to accept it. If you don't accept it and you just say, oh, I'm going to be happy, and you're like anxious and you're like, I'm going to be happy. It's like when you're at the beach and you look at the waves and you put your hand out to the wave and you say, stop. And the wave's just going to crash onto your hand, right? It does nothing. It's not going to do anything. But if you actually accept what you're feeling and then move it to another emotion, or move on to whatever you were doing. So let's say, for example, you are working at your computer desk and then you feel anxious for whatever reason. You accept that, and you even just say it to yourself, I accept these feelings and these thoughts. I accept these feelings and these thoughts. And if you're feeling any sensations, you can say, I surrender control back to my body. And then you can just repeat that in your head. I surrender control back to my body. And once you've done that, you can go back to whatever you were doing, whether that was, working on the computer or anything. I urge you guys to try this next time you feel any other uncomfortable emotion. And I hope that helps. Make sure you have a good day. And remember, everything is just energy.